Yogis, another question. Can I eat before yoga practice? That's a terrible idea. Don't. If you're ravenous, just eat and then you can practice later. Or I find if I get on my mat and I've got hunger pangs, I forget about them after a few minutes. There's so much abdominal manipulation and control and drawing in and bandhas and all of that in yoga practice that eating and then getting on your yoga mat and doing a solid practice is really a sure way to give yourself at least indigestion, potentially a hiatus hernia. Don't do it. Get on your mat and then get off your mat and then have some food. Yogis always ask the question, how to remove the fear of going upside down? I would love to stand on my head, but I'm afraid I will break my neck. You won't break your neck, most likely. Most likely. I think the issue isn't the pose, the issue is the fear. So I would say address the fear and try and disempower the fear. So think about it not as I'm standing on my head, but think about it as I'm putting my forearms on the floor. I'm interlinking my fingers, my head is lightly on the floor, and then I'm bracing into the floor with my arms and I'm lifting, I'm strengthening my arms, I'm opening my shoulders, approach it from that angle. And then, so that's the first stage. So you develop strength and trust in your shoulders, and then do it against a wall, do it with a bolster against the wall. So you've got a bit of padding, do it in a corner. So you have two walls and do it regularly. Practice really makes all the difference. Get on your mat. Yogis, I was asked, how long should my practice be to get the benefits? It's as long as you can fit in, really. Let's get realistic. You will get more benefits. If you think of, if you're saving money, you will save more in the long term if you put away a £5 a day than if you put away 100 once a month. And 100 once a month will be more of a sting. So what can you fit into your life day in, day out? Some days it's going to be one pose, but you are tipping the yoga. You're constantly maintaining it. And then on days where you've time off, you can do longer. But every moment of yoga practice has benefits, okay? And now you seem to be on social media, so I'd say turn it off, roll out your mat and get on it. Yogis, a question. Pranayama before or after asana practice? Whew. I'm going to say after asana practice, but then I would even suggest sometimes instead of and separate two. Okay? What I like doing is, if you come to my Sunday class, you know this, bit of chest opening, bit of quietening, and then pranayama. It's the best. I think the asana and pranayama have a lovely symbiotic relationship, but if you do it after a very stimulating physical practice, you're going to be buzzy, you're going to be zingy, and it's going to be hard to actually settle into some good quality breathing. So I think give it its own space, give it its own mat time. Pranayama is really beautiful. Get on your mat. Yogis, a question. Can I put my bent leg foot on my standing leg knee in tree pose? Are you testing me? Do you know what? It's not going to break your knee. Sometimes people worry too much. It's going to be fine. Your knee does not really mind a tiny little bit of pressure from inside the knee. It actually feels like support. If it was on the outer knee, that'd be an absolutely different story. If you get a hit on your outer knee, it's going to potentially, it has to be a bad bash, you know, like rugby. The gentle little hoof standing on your inner knee is not going to cripple you, okay? But most likely it will actually be slightly above the joint, because that's where it's the end of the thigh bone, the end of the femur that juts out. That's where you'll actually stand. So the answer is go for it. You'll be totally fine. It'll hold your foot there.